This is Joy Roland, and you are listening to the Joyful Money Podcast. This is episode number 73. Eliminate procrastination and double your income. Welcome to Joyful Money, the podcast where we focus on making money the joyful way. We are done with the stress and anxiety that typically come with making money. Will feature extraordinary and inspiring business owners who are making a huge impact by sharing their gifts and talents with the world. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea and let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 73 of the Joyful Money Podcast. I am thrilled that you are here. Seriously. I love it when I go in the back end and I run the analytics and I see all the people listening to my podcast. It really warms my heart with lots of happiness and joy. And like I've said so many times on this podcast, recording this show is, I'd say, the top activity in my business I love. 100%, hands down. So I love recording these episodes because it helps me do my research. It helps me to become better because many times when I research on topics to share on the podcast, I'm actually researching topics that would help me as well. So I am becoming better as a business owner, as an entrepreneur because of this podcast. So I'm so excited that you are finding it very useful and you keep listening. So today, I want to talk to you about how to eliminate procrastination and double your income. This topic is so close to my heart because in my business, I when I coach women, I see a lot of people struggle with procrastination. They want to do the thing, right? They want to be successful, they want to make a lot of money, but somehow they find themselves procrastinating all of the time. And so they keep asking, why? Why am I sabotaging myself when I know taking income producing actions in my business is what will get me the results I'm looking for? So I'm going to dive in very deep in on this topic on procrastination, and my goal is for you to use the tips I'm going to share so that you can eliminate procrastination. Why is this important? Well, because when you eliminate procrastination, my friend, you will more than double your income. I have seen this with the clients I work with. When they tackle the problem of procrastination, they see a huge jump in their revenue, in their sales, in their income. This is very, very important. And if you do struggle with procrastination, you are not alone. I don't want you to feel bad um, because many people do struggle with procrastination. Okay, so what is procrastination? Well, procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing tasks, and oftentimes that is to the detriment of your overall goal. It's that time, that moment in time when you choose to scroll through social media instead of completing a crucial business report or completing a task in your business that actually bring in more clients. Or you might decide to clean. This has happened to me a few times. I've just decided, oh, I'm going to clean, right? Or I'm going to clean the house, or I'm going to wash the bathroom. When I am actually running away from the task I already assigned to myself. Okay, so it might not just be that you scroll social media to avoid doing the thing. Sometimes it could be a productive thing you do, like cleaning the house, like cleaning the bathroom. Well, this is still procrastination. Maybe you're hiding from sales calls. Maybe you're hiding from making offers. Maybe you're hiding from doing discovery calls. You hide because your brain is trying to keep you safe. You hide because your brain doesn't want to expend the energy to do the task. So many people ask me, why do I procrastinate? Well, the short answer is because you are a human being. Okay? Now, let me explain. By default, as humans, our brains prefer not to expend energy. Okay? Your brain has three key motivation. One, run away from pain. Two, run towards pleasure. And three, conserve as much energy as possible. So, doing the task in your business that would actually bring in more clients and more revenue, to your brain, it is expending energy. And your brain doesn't want to expend energy. Your brain prefers to do nothing. Yes. When I say your brain, I also mean my brain, the human brain. So your brain and my brain prefers not to do the thing. It prefers to conserve the energy. Okay. So I want you to understand that first of all. Now, so then you might ask, okay, so then how do I get things done? Well, there is good news. There is a part of your brain and my brain that has evolved. And that part of your brain and my brain is called the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is also called the executive part of our brain. And that part of our brain is the part of our brain that has our best interest at heart. It has our best long term interest at heart. So think of it like this. Imagine a toddler at a grocery store, and the toddler wants a bar of chocolate. Now, that toddler is your primitive brain, right? That's the part of your brain that's almost equal to all other animals. You want the instant gratification. Okay. So your job is to use your executive brain to override your primitive brain, your toddler brain. That's how you get things done. That is the secret to success, my friend. Here's the thing. If you set yourself a goal and you say, okay, today I am going to make 10 sales offers. I'm going to find 10 clients and I'm going to make offers for them to become clients. I'm going to find 10 people and I'm going to make offers for them to become clients. Okay, when that time comes, your brain is going to throw a tantrum. Your brain is going to come up with excuses why you shouldn't take the action. That is how procrastination happens. Self sabotage. Your brain will say, oh, can we just design the logo instead? Can we just design the website instead? So your brain will come up with all of these excuses to stop you from taking the action. Now, you have to anticipate that this will happen. 100% it will happen. Your job is to use your executive brain to override your primitive brain. To say, well, I know you don't feel like doing the thing, and that's understandable, but we're going to do the thing anyway. Yes. So, and many times it's because your brain is afraid of rejection, afraid of nasty comments online, for example, afraid of failing. Your brain doesn't want you to fail, and your brain doesn't want to have to deal with the fallout of you failing in your business. That's why your brain will try to keep you safe. It thinks it's keeping you safe, right? But you have to then use your executive brain to override your primitive brain. Okay, so how does procrastination manifest? It manifests in different forms. um, it could be outright procrastination, like completely ignoring the project, or it can be very subtle. It can be subtle in the sense that maybe you spend excessive time on low priority task. Okay, so for example, designing the logo, like the example I gave, that's a very low priority task. compared to actually making sales offers that would actually bring money into your business. Here are other common ways that procrastination will show up. Avoidance. When you deliberately avoid a task you find unpleasant. Another way it shows up is distraction. When you engage in activities that feel enjoyable at the time, but yet unproductive, such as browsing social media, scrolling Instagram, seeing what everyone else is doing. Or you might decide to maybe watch more training videos on YouTube. Maybe you are part of a course or a program and you just go watch all of the trainings. That's distraction, my friend. That's one of the ways that procrastination shows up in your business. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying watching training videos is bad. All I'm saying is sometimes your brain will use that as an excuse not to take income producing actions. Just watch out for those. Another way procrastination shows up is perfectionism. Yes. Delaying tasks because you want everything to be perfect. Yes, maybe you're designing a sales letter or an email campaign and you want the email to be perfect. You're about to send out an email to your email list telling them about your new offer so that they can buy your offer. But you keep refining the email. You go back, you look at all the grammar, the spelling, and you want everything to be perfect. That's one way that procrastination shows up. And the last way I could come up with is indecision. You struggle to make decisions. That leads to paralysis, analysis paralysis, and inaction. You keep kicking the decision down the road instead of just deciding and moving forward. So you keep staying in the limbo of not deciding how to move forward. That is one way that procrastination shows up. So then, why does this matter? What is the cost of procrastination? Well, the cost of procrastination is huge. When you even think about the dollar amount, the amount you're losing each month by not taking the income producing action you promised yourself to take is huge. Um, Another cost of procrastination is reduced productivity. You don't grow as fast as you want to. Also, diminished income, right? You don't earn as much as you desire. You don't earn as much as you deserve to earn. Now, by understanding how procrastination affects your business and addressing these issues, you will unlock your full potential, my friend, and you will set your business up on a trajectory of success and abundance. So, this is very important. So, what are the actionable steps to eliminate procrastination? The first one is obviously awareness. Identify the root cause of your procrastination. Why are you procrastinating? Are you afraid of something? It's your job to find out exactly what your subconscious mind is afraid of. Maybe your mind is afraid of rejection. Maybe your subconscious mind is afraid of failing. Your subconscious mind doesn't want you to fail. Maybe your subconscious mind is afraid of success. That is one huge one as well. Many people subconsciously are afraid of success. For example, you might be thinking, oh, my friends are gonna um, run away. I'm not gonna have so many friends anymore. Or I'm gonna have too many people asking me for money all of the time when I become hugely successful. I'm gonna lose my friends, right? So identify why you keep procrastinating. Another action step you can take is to break the task into smaller steps. Let's say you have a huge project you need to do. When you break the task into smaller steps, it becomes more manageable, right? And when those smaller steps, when you accomplish those smaller tasks, it gives your brain a dopamine hit. When you check off your list that you've done a specific thing, your brain is going to be very happy and you can move on to the next task. So don't tackle a huge project all at once. Break them up into very small actionable tasks. Another thing you can do is to set very clear goals and very clear deadlines. When you have vague goals, then you'll definitely procrastinate. Instead of saying, I'm going to work on my marketing strategy, for example, that's very vague. You could say, I'm going to have the first draft of my marketing strategy written down by 3 p.m. today. End of. Very specific. 3 p.m. today. Done. So don't just say, oh, I need to come up with my marketing strategy. No. Define exactly what part of your marketing strategy you'll be working on and then send a specific deadline. Now, you also need to create a schedule and stick to that schedule. Now, many people struggle with this, especially business owners, because we don't have a 9 to 5 boss that we report to. So if you're not very careful, you will be very lackadaisical when it comes to your time. And time is very precious, right? So if you work from home, for example, you own your own business, you need to create a schedule and stick to that schedule. Use tools like your calendar, your planner, or even digital apps to break down everything you need to do and set a specific deadline to each of those tasks. The next point is very, very important, and this is the number one thing I think holds a lot of people back: distractions. You have to identify the distractions in your work environment that makes it very easy for you to procrastinate. Could it be your mobile phone? You have your mobile phone close every time, and so when you get notifications, you have to check. And when you check those notifications, it just leads to extra 10 minutes scrolling social media. So, if this is one of your weak points, become aware of that and then create a strategy to overcome that obstacle. Maybe you would say, okay, for the next 1 hour, I'm going to put my phone away. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to just work on my computer. That could be a strategy that could work for you. Okay. Another thing is if you work from home, for example, access to the kitchen might be very, very tempting. It might be a huge distraction when you have access to your fridge 24 hours or you have access to the television. Just watch Netflix, right? So identify those things that are actually causing distractions. And these are the things that are stopping you from actually stepping into your wealth and abundance that God has created for you, just waiting for you to take hold of them. These are the little distractions that are holding you back. Now, another thing you could do is to seek accountability. So, if you work by yourself, for example, it might be a good idea to partner with somebody and say, oh, I'm struggling with procrastination and I want you to be my accountability partner. I want to work with you so we can encourage each other to stick to our business goals and actually take the steps that get us the results we want in our businesses. There are tons of ways you can do this. If you are in any business groups online, like Facebook groups, you could find someone you resonate with and just ask them, are you willing to be my accountability partner? I have a goal to make my business hugely, hugely successful, and I want you to be my accountability partner. Another thing I want you to do is to practice self compassion. Yes, practice self compassion. The same compassion you extend to other people, practice the same for yourself. Be kind to yourself when you sleep up. Procrastination is a common challenge, and beating yourself up doesn't solve the problem. In fact, most times it's counterproductive. Instead, acknowledge the setback and then learn from it and refocus on your goals. That's how people create success in their businesses. Don't beat yourself up. Don't put yourself down. Don't speak rudely to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Appreciate yourself. Recognize all of the progress you've made already. Okay. And the last tool I want to give you, my friend, is to visualize success. This is something that many people don't take enough advantage of. Visualizing your success is like the best thing you can do for yourself. When you sit down in the morning, close your eyes, and visualize a successful day. What does a successful day look like and feel like? I want you to actually feel the emotion of success, right? Put yourself there in that future state of you being hugely successful. How does it feel like with your eyes closed? See yourself in that successful state, signing more clients, right? Make doubling your income in a month, doubling your income literally. How does that feel like? Logging into your bank account and seeing all of that money in your bank account. Visualize that success for yourself. And then, with your eyes closed, ask your future self, how did you do it? And your future self will tell you. Okay? So, that's all the tips I have for you. Like, I know if you implement these tips, you will for sure eliminate procrastination. And when you eliminate procrastination, my friend, you will double your income at the minimum. These are the things that have helped me personally in my business, and I'm seeing a huge shift in the clients I'm signing. So I hope you go out there and you crush it. Remember what I said, anticipate that your brain will come up with excuses, right? When that time comes for you to take the action in your business, anticipate that your brain will come up with excuses and then use your prefrontal cortex to override your primitive brain. The sky is the limit for you. I'll see you back here on the next episode. Hey, very quickly before you go, if this podcast inspired or encouraged you in any way, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and share this with a friend. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate your kindness and generosity in doing this. We'll see you back here on the next episode. Bye bye.